from Shehnaz Qazi, homemaker from Cape Town, South Africa. In Islam, a woman inherits half the share as compared to the male. Is this not injustice to the woman? A similar question is asked by another person. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Dr. Zakir Naik, my name is Ainun Nahar. I'm a student of class 10. I'm from Jashore, Bangladesh. We see in Islam that the property of the parents is given more to their son than the daughter. Why is it? Isn't it unequal? This is a common question asked by the non-Muslims and even by some of the Muslims, and it is part of my answer in the most common questions asked by non-Muslim. I think it is the 14th or the 15th answer. As far as inheritance is concerned, there are various verses of the glorious Quran which speaks about inheritance. That's mentioned in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 180. In Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 240. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 7 to 9. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 11 to 12. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 19. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 33. In Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 176. And Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 106 to verse number 108. There are various places the Quran speaks about inheritance. As far as the shares are concerned, they are mainly in two sets of verses. The first set of verses is from Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 11 and 12, where it says, as for the shares of your children, Allah has ordained for you that for the male, they get double the share of the female. If only daughters, 2 or more, they share in 2/3. If only one daughter, she gets half. And the verse continues. As far as your parents are concerned, if you have children, the parents get 1/6 each. If you have no children, then the mother gets 1/3. If you have a brother or a sister, mother gets 1/6. This is after paying off your legacies and debts. The next verse, Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 12 says that as for what your wives leaves for you, you get half the share if there are no children. And if there are children, you get 1/4 the share. In what you leave for your wife, if there are no children, then she gets 1/4. If there are children, she gets 1/8 after paying of the debts and legacies. It's a bit confusing, no problem. You can go back to the Quran, open the Quran, do understand Arabic, read the translation. Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 11 and 12. And further, the Quran says in Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 176, that as for those who have no ascendants and no descendants, that means they don't have any parents, they don't have any children, then what your sisters get, if there are 2 or more, then what your brothers and sisters get is that the brother gets double the share of the sister. And if only sisters, if there are 2 or more, they share in a 2/3. If only one, she gets half. So these are the shares ordained in the Quran. And further in the Hadith you come to know that as if you have no ascendants and descendants, and if you have a uterine brother or sister, then each get 1/6. So as far as the question is concerned, that why do the males inherit double the share as compared to the woman counterpart? In most of the cases, she is right, but not always. There are cases in which the male and female inherit equal. For example, if you have parents, if you have left behind parents, and you have left behind children, both the parents, each of them get 1/6. Mother gets 1/6, the father gets 1/6. They're equal. And as I mentioned earlier, if you have no ascendant or descendant, and if you have got uterine brothers and sisters, both share the same. They get 1/6. So there are in two cases where the male and female, they inherit equal. There are some cases in which the mother inherits, in some cases in which the female inherits double than that of the male. If you do not leave behind any children, and if you are mother and father, mother gets 1/3, father gets 1/6. But I do agree with you. In most of the cases, the male inherits double than that of the female. If you have got children left behind, sons and daughters, the son inherits double than that of the daughter, as compared to the wife and husband. If you have left behind children, the wife inherits 1/8, the husband inherits 1/4, double the share. If you have no children, wife inherits 1/4, husband inherits half, double. So in the cases of brothers and sisters, in cases of daughters and sons, in case of husband and wife, in most of the cases, the male counterpart inherits double than that of the female. What is the reason? Isn't this injustice? The answer is that in Islam, it is the male which is the bread earner of the family. In Islam, before a female gets married, it is the father and the brother. And after she's married, it is the husband and the son who looks after her lodging, boarding, clothing, and all financial aspect. Quran clearly states in Surah Nisa chapter 4, verse number 34 and 35, that ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala nisa, that the man is the qawwam, is the one who protects and supports the woman, and it includes financially. So financially, the woman is secure in Islam. There is no financial burden on the woman. She need not earn a penny for a living. It is the duty of the male, and he is supposed to bear all the financial aspects of the living of everyone in the family, including the woman. The lodging, boarding, clothing, and financial aspect. The woman need not earn a single penny for a living. She is financially secured. If she wants to earn and she wants to contribute, she is permitted as long as the job is halal. It is Islamically permitted, not away from the Islamic Sharia, then it's permitted. And if she's married, the wife should give permission. If she's not married, the father should give permission. But in general terms, it is the man who takes the financial burden. Now let me give you an example. That if suppose a person dies, and after giving the share of the parents, he has $150,000 left from his share. And he has got one son and one daughter. So from this $150,000 that is remaining after giving the shares of the other relatives and the parents, the son will get $100,000 and the daughter would get $50,000. But from that $100,000, that son may have to spend on his family members, to take care of the lodging, boarding, clothing. Maybe he will have to spend $80,000 from it. The daughter who receives $50,000, she need not spend a single penny on anyone else. I am asking a question. Would you prefer inheriting $100,000 and spending maybe 80% of it on the other family members? Or would you prefer inheriting $50,000 and not spending a single penny on anyone else? But natural. The second person is financially much more sound, has a financial much more benefit than the first person. Imagine if Allah has put the financial burden on the male in the family and then say that male and female inherit same, it will be injustice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to make injustice, since he has put the financial burden on the male in the family, he's seen to it that in inheritance, he gives double the share in most of the cases to the male as compared to the female. So this logic is actually making the woman financially more secured, and that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is never unjust in the least degree. Hope that answers the question.